And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, today we are taking a look at Flip City. Yes, this is a game in which the rules actually say whoever flipped the table last goes first, but it's a game in which you have double-sided cards. So your deck, it's a deck builder game where you're going to be shuffling a deck of cards, but then whatever side the card is on matters, and you have a chance to flip the cards to their better side. Let me show you. In this game, there are 5 stacks of cards on a table. Hospital, office, factory, Central Park, convenience store. Each of these has a different side. So, for example, the convenience stores have shopping malls on the others. Players are going to get a deck of cards that is made up of 4 residential areas, which aren't out. Apartment, which is the other side of the residential area. A convenience store, Central Park, factory, and hospital. Now you're going to shuffle your deck, and then you're going to place it face up in front of you, but since the cards are double-sided, you're going to see which card you're going to play. So let's say I place it like this here. Now, on my turn, I'm always going to play the first card from my deck, so I play this one. Here this says 1, so I get 1 coin, and it says if I play 18 or more cards this turn, I win. Well, I don't even have 18 cards in my deck, so that's not going to happen. So I play this. Now I have the opportunity to play another card, or I can stop. Sort of like a push your luck element to the game, because you'll notice this shows a frowny face. If I get more than 2 frowny faces, then my turn's over and nothing happens. But I want more than just a coin, so I'll take this one. It gives me a coin too, and it gives me a coin for each frowny face that I gained this turn. So far I've got 1, so this is worth another 2. So that's 3. Now, this says when a residential area is the top card of your deck, you must play it. So I play that one. So now I have 2 frowny faces, and I have 3 coins. Now, this factory gives me another 2 coins, but I'm afraid to play it because I know there's 4 residential areas in my deck. And if one of those comes to the top, I'll have to automatically play it, which will essentially get rid of all my cards. So I'll just take the 3 coins that I have. Now, I can go up here, and I can buy something that I'll put in my discard pile. So I could buy the convenience store, I could buy the office. I like the office, so I'll buy that. And then I'll put all these cards into my discard pile. Then on my next turn, so I'll play the factory for 2. This says my deck's not empty. Put the bottom card for my deck in my discard pile. Okay, no problem. Residential area. So the factory has 2. I want more than 2, so I'll take the apartment. That's 3. And Central Park doesn't do anything for me right now, so I'm just going to stop here because, again, I know there's more residential areas. Now, instead of buying a card this turn, my other option is to look at the cards in my pile here, and I can flip one of those cards. This card here, the convenience store, costs 3 to flip, so I spend 3, and now it's a shopping mall. So that's pretty cool. So I've done that, and my turn's over, and I keep going. So on your turn, you can play as many cards as you want until you bust. If you have 3 frowny faces or more, you bust and all your cards are discarded and your turn's over. And then you can buy a card out here, or flip 1 card, or you can buy and flip a card. So let's say I have 7, I can see, I'm going to buy and flip this office and turn it into a trade center. Now each of the cards is going to give you money usually. Some will give you points. Points don't mean anything except if you get 8 points on one turn, you win. So the Central Park gives you 2 points, and you can buy 2 things. If you can flip it to the station, which gives you 3 points, and you can flip 2 cards instead of 1. You also notice that the other side of each of these cards has a flip thing here, which means you can pull these out of your discard pile and use them, basically. But when you do that, they get flipped back to their original side. So maybe I need to get rid of 1 frowny face. Well, the trade center will do that for me. Maybe I need just 1 more coin. The shopping center will do that for me. Maybe I need an extra frowny face. The church will do that for me. The church is also great because every time you play one, your frowny face limit goes up. And they do different things for you. They see the power plant and station, and so you have to do, there's 2 ways to win the game currently. One is to get 8 points, or the other is to play 18 cards, and one of those cards also be a convenience store. The first player to do that is the winner. When you run out of your cards in this game, and you've played all your cards, then you will shuffle your discard pile and put it back and do the same thing. There's a lot to like in Flip City, so we'll start with the one thing I don't like about Flip City, and that is the fact that it should on the box just say 1 to 2 players. There's a solo variant in here where you basically have a certain number of cards out there in the middle and you're trying to score, you're trying to win before you run out of cards. Okay, that's very puzzly, interesting, whatever. 2 players is fine. However, once you go above 2 players, 3 is okay, I guess. 4 is just excruciatingly long because someone can take a while on their turn. They can flip a card and go, should I flip the next one? Okay, this lets me take this action. And it's very interesting for you playing, but not so interesting for people watching. As a 2-player game, though, this really shines. Sure, your opponent might take a bit, but you're already thinking about what you're going to do next. I like in this game the push your luck aspect. I like seeing how far you can go before you bust. And, you know, with the churches, it lets you go a little bit farther. And sometimes you might have a couple of those residences in a row, and those residences are a pain in your neck. However, you can flip them to apartments, which are still not great. But if you can flip an apartment back, you can then send it to your opponent's pile, which is pretty fantastic. I like that. And so you get these things and send them out of your deck, lean your deck down a little bit. The offices, which are technically an expansion, whatever. I don't know anyone who's ever not going to play with them. They always come to the top of your pile, so you have that. And you can try to get victory points. You can try to get 18 cards. The 18 cards thing sounds ridiculous, but it's really not. Both strategies are legit. I do wish there was maybe 2 or 3 cards that you could switch out so there's a little bit more variety. I suspect if the game does well, Tasty Minstrel will produce that anyway. I hope so anyway. I'd love to be able to switch out maybe 1 card for a card that's similar but has some different things on it for some, you know, just some variety. But as it is, the graphic design is really cool. The cards actually, when you set them next to each other, they actually form a nice little city, which is a cool, I mean, it doesn't actually do anything, but the theme comes through. Very interesting little card game. Definitely can tell it has those Japanese origins to it, where it's small but big. Really neat game. I highly recommend it. Flip City. Dice Tower Judgment into my collection.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Oi, shut the door!
There?